In e-commerce, there are welcome flows that are completely trash and welcome flows that are just fire. But what's even the difference? What even makes a good or bad welcome flow? Now, after building out many flow strategies for multiple e-commerce brands, let me tell you, there are a few things that one specific brand does that I would absolutely copy. So today we'll first break down the welcome emails they actually sent me, and then we'll rebuild the entire flow from scratch. Alright, before we actually start reviewing the emails, I want to give you a quick note about the brand today. The brand is called Everlane. I don't know if you've ever heard about it, but basically it's a clothing brand for both men and women. They're selling really more basic stuff, so really basics in terms of t-shirts, tops, dresses, denim, shoes, everything across the clothing space basically. And they basically have a really simplistic brand image, as you can see. So to not go any further into the actual brand, what they're selling, we just want to bother with the emails today. So that's what we're going to take a look at now. All right, I have already received over 100 emails so far. I've been subscribed to their newsletter like 2 or 3 months now, and they already sent me a lot of stuff. So that's already really nice. But just to make this video a bit easier, I did mark all the emails that were welcome emails, and basically this email shouldn't belong here. So this is the first email they sent me. This is basically the first welcome email, and they're immediately offering 20% off. And I don't want to go too much into detail into the actual email because we're going to do that after this one. But just to give you a quick overview, those are the 3 emails. This was the second email, and right here you have the third email. And one thing I already like, let's just move my head out of the way. One thing I already like is I apparently subscribed on May 7th. That's when I received the first welcome email. And then immediately on May 8th, as you can see right here, I received the second email. And then the third email I received on May 10th. So basically what I already really like about this flow is that they don't take 5 days or they don't wait 5 days to send the second and the third and the fourth email or whatever. But much rather they're sending an email every day or at least every other day, which a lot of brands think isn't best practice, and a lot of brands think, yeah, of course you should extend the welcome flow because not everyone will be ready to purchase within the next 2 days from subscribing. But actually sending the welcome flow in such a short period of time basically has the effect that people feel like, all right, this is really urgent. I might want to open their emails. They're sending me an email every single day, so I might as well just take a look at the email. And this way you're really adding a great sense of urgency without even mentioning anything urgent. So of course, along the way you want to send campaigns as well. As you can see throughout this time frame of the welcome flow, we basically received as many campaigns as we did receive flow emails. So if you feel like, all right, I might definitely make the time delays email welcome flow shorter, I might think about not waiting 7 days for the second and the third email to arrive. When you do that, make sure that you're still sending out campaigns so that people have something else to hold on to, so that they have some more content apart from the welcome flow. So really important before we actually dive right into the emails. Today, this is not going to be us fixing a bad flow, but much rather we want to learn from a good one. So don't expect me to give out too much critique because I really like the welcome flow overall, but you're going to see that in the email. But let's get right into the emails. Right, as you've already seen in the inbox, the welcome flow basically consists of 3 emails in total. Above the emails you can already see, first email was sent on day 1, of course, then the second email on day 2, and the third and last email was sent 2 days later, so on day 4. So to start off with the first email that I received on day 1, basically to go through the email from top to bottom, right here you can immediately see the offer. People most likely subscribed to the newsletter because they were on the website and they've seen the pop-up which offered 20% off on their first order. And then of course people don't subscribe. Most of the time they don't subscribe because they really want to be subscribed to your email list. Most of the time they join your list because you offer them something, whether that's a discount, whether that's a product on top of your first order, whether that's free shipping, free resources, whatever that might be. You need to offer them some value first. And of course, not a lot of brands understand this, but this brand, of course, understand it really well. Give them the offer and then leave them alone. So when someone really just wants the offer for now, they can immediately see, here's 20% off on us. and then, oh, I need to enter my email at checkout, and then the welcome offer will be applied to my order. Basically, people can go on from there and either scroll down on the email or just place an order or browse a website or whatever they want to do. Now, the second thing that I really like, and I assume also has a deeper purpose, is this two-folded call to actions. So it basically says shop woman and shop man, and the reason for why they didn't just say shop now or shop collection, they much rather ask for the gender, because when someone clicks a certain link in your email, you can definitely segment based on that. So you can create segments or properties based on whether or not someone has clicked this link or that link. And this way you can easily collect way more information about them, because especially for a clothing brand like Everlane, it is really important or really helpful to know if this certain subscriber is a man or a woman, because it just helps for future segmentation. So also a little strategy in the flow right here that of course nobody knows is a strategy in and of itself. So now here is a normal image. Normally this would be a GIF. So of course I just quickly took a screenshot so you can just see that one image. Below the image, which is also really important, this brand also offers education. When someone just wants to get the offer, get the 20% off, feel free to, you can just click in the hero section. You don't even need to scroll down or anything. You can just do everything you want right here. But if you're really interested in this brand, which some people definitely are, you can scroll down a little and then you can learn more about this brand. So it says cleaner fashion, and basically they're talking a bit about their values, and then they're having a normal call to action that says learn more. So people can go on their website and browse certain links and certain sites that tell them more about their sustainable practices or some conscious choices they made for the environment or anything like that. And people can really dive deeper when they want. So you definitely should offer people some form of deeper knowledge about your brand, some form of deeper context for the people that actually want to know that. Next, which I personally also really like, is again, find your new favorite. So it's again a section where you can shop products, which is really nice because up here, this is an option to shop from the brand. Right here, you offer them some value, you offer them some education. And then down here again, which is kind of a zigzag pattern, you could say, they offer some products to shop again. Now, if people will still scroll down and will not click shop women, shop men, whatever they want to click, then it might be the case that they're not sure about something in the email, because an email that has 3 of those sections, when someone opens the email and scrolls down through all those 3 sections, they should have definitely clicked something or clicked out of the email. Either of that will be the case, but if they scroll down through those 3 big sections, they might be looking for some kind of help, for some kind of support, and they're doing it really well. In the first welcome email, immediately they're asking, got any questions? We're here to help, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. PST, 7 days a week. And you can immediately message them. And this is really helpful because having just a tiny little support note in your actual welcome email, or even in all welcome emails, you could say, helps a lot of customers that are just not sure about something about your brand. Maybe it's a product, maybe it's some practice, maybe it's some shipping question, whatever that might be. You can immediately offer them help. You can offer them a guiding hand. And a lot of people will take that hand when they have a question. And a lot of those people that have a question, when your support team is good and you help them immediately and you answer all their questions and all their concerns, they will eventually buy from you. And they will tell other people how great your support is, and they will leave great reviews. So people that have a problem in the first place and you help them solve that problem, they will be way more enthusiastic about your brand than people that don't have any problems and that just place an order and basically that's it. The product sits at home. Maybe they don't use the product, whatever that may be. When people have a challenge, have a problem, offer them a guiding hand. It helps a lot. And then again, some quick links down here, especially the shop man, shop woman is always important. They do send those campaigns and those call to actions with shop man, shop woman throughout the lifetime of a subscriber. So it's not just in the welcome email. So they're really frequently sending call to actions like that to really make sure that the subscriber is either male or female. If that's important to your brand, I definitely recommend you do the same. Now going over to day 2, or rather email 2. Again, the people that maybe missed the first email, They might just care about the offer. They just want to get the offer and purchase something. Give them the offer, tell them how to use it, tell them where to go, and leave them alone. It's really that simple. People should not need to scroll down in order to get the offer or know how to use it or get some call to action. Just give them all those 3 elements. Give them the offer, how to use it, where to use it, and that's it. Then you have an image. In this email, of course, visuals are always great. And below that image, what do we have? We have some more context. Context doesn't just need to be value, it can also be products, of course. So right here you can see it says the best fits, the best washes, the best for you. Explore premium denim made from the cleanest factory in the world. All right, really interesting. Cleanest factory in the world. So only thing that I might want to critique or I might want to mark here is that when they're telling people it's from the cleanest factory in the world, they should definitely give some proof for that. When they would have said maybe it's from a really clean factory or one of the cleanest factories in the world, people would definitely believe it. But when you say it's from the cleanest factory in the world, you better give some proof, because this way people feel actually comfortable with your emails and with the things you claim. So this would be a great place to have a quick learn more button where you can direct people to some article that you wrote or to some blog post or whatever, where you get some more context on those actual statements. But overall, really great to break the pattern and not just offer products throughout the entire email. But then of course we want to return to the products again. And right here, compared to the last product collection, to the last product display, we have some more context. So we have some more text, we have some more explanations, which can also really help people who maybe opened the first email and are not really sure what they want to purchase. And when you give them some more context, especially in form of text and explanation, maybe people feel a bit more safe with moving forward with your brand, or at least clicking the email in the first place. Then again, got some questions. We're here to help 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. PST, 7 days a week. People that maybe have a question now that arose just some minutes ago, or that maybe still have a question and didn't see this section in the first email, just offer this blog in every single one of your welcome emails and every single one of your flow emails where it's important, because then people can immediately return to you and you can immediately help them solve their problem and they will be freaking happy customers. Right here again about us, so some more context, cleaner fashion. We believe that luxury should be as effortless as it is conscious, etc., etc. You're offering them some more education, and then a quick read more, learn more button. Always great to educate customers. And again, down here, pretty much the same, shop woman, shop man. We did talk about that right now. So for the third email, now it gets really interesting because they're doing some few things different. One thing they're not doing different, which no brand should actually do different in the welcome flow, is they're still offering the 20% off or whatever offer you might want to offer, and then tell them how it is applied at checkout or how they can use it at checkout. And then again, you offer them a call to action for this brand. Again, you have shop man, shop woman, and then the usual image. Basically really straightforward and really Everlane style, so nothing crazy. But then you have some more urgency because it says again, don't miss out on 20% off wardrobe must-haves, best-selling styles and more. And now one thing I really like is this call to action style product display. So it's not really product display in this case right here. You can see right here you have tees, denim, sweaters, tops, and it's of course tied to images. But in this case, you only have those call to actions. And the reason why this might work and the reason why they still have it in their emails is simply because it breaks the pattern and it gives you something different. Now for the got any questions section, it's pretty much the same again, and also for the quick links. And one thing that this email is really all about is urgency, which for some reason I didn't mention at the start of this email right here, but the headline immediately says time is running out. So this whole email should be a little different. It should be a bit elevated from those other two campaigns, both in terms of urgency, so in terms of how urgent this email is perceived and how important this email is perceived, but also in terms of design, so that people feel like, right, this is something different. I don't know this yet. I received maybe 4 or 5 emails already from this brand, but this one is completely different. Let's talk about what I would actually change. about those 3 emails, I actually wouldn't change that much because from my perspective, they're really simplistic and they're really basic. But of course, that fits the style of the brand. So there's nothing wrong about it. The only thing I would personally consider adding is a last email, so 4th email to the flow. Because yes, with 3 emails, you might convert most of the people, but still the last and the 4th email will convert a few more people. I'm not a fan of welcome flows that span over 6, 7, 8 emails, whatever. But having around 4 to maybe 5 emails is a good way to go. And of course, if you have 5 emails in your welcome flow and the last email just doesn't convert at all, just take it out and you will be good to go. But from our experience, the first 4 emails tend to perform really well. And especially the last email sometimes performs really, really well, because what I would focus on if I were to add a 4th email to this brand's welcome flow is urgency. Really urgency, last chance, time's running out, basically like this right here, but even a bit more dramatic and even a bit more out of pattern. So this might be a great place where you can even experiment with colors. So I know for this brand, they're definitely at this white or beige background, but maybe just completely switch it up for that 1 email. Yes, it will not be aligned with your brand image that well, but for some brands, interrupting the pattern with colors with different elements works wonders, because yes, people will get used to this pattern pretty fast. And for important emails like a last welcome flow email or a last reminder, you can definitely experiment with that. So this is a great way where you can introduce A/B tests to your flows. But after all, I don't want to talk too much about the last email. I also don't want to build it out for the sake of time, but basically get what I mean with that. So around 3 to 4 emails is a good way to go. I personally definitely prefer 4 emails at least. All right, we're in our agency demo account, and before we start, I just want to remind you that we're actually really copying Everlane 101 right here as the welcome flow exists. So of course, feel free to copy some strategies, some winning angles, whatever you find interesting and helpful to your brand, but just be aware that this is not going to be some kind of rebuilding or restructuring, as I already said. I just want to lay out how this brand is approaching the welcome flow. So with that out of the way, let's get right into it. So the goal of this welcome flow is that it is simple, intentional, and conversion focused. So nothing crazy. We're just going to, oh no, we're not going to create a campaign today. We're going to create a flow actually. So we're going to go to flows in Klaviyo and we're going to click create flow. And then, yeah, we do have some templates for the welcome flow, but just for the sake of this video, let's just build our own. Let's name it welcome flow. Tags, we don't need that. Create flow. And now it asks us to select the trigger. And for the welcome flow, of course, you want to have the trigger added to list. So depends on what list you want to use. Most likely your main list will be the email list. So just select the correct list. And for the welcome flow specifically, you don't really want to allow re-entry, so let's just leave it as is. And then really important, we want to add some profile filters, because when someone enters a flow and there are no profile filters, it doesn't matter what actions they take, they will stay in that flow, and nothing will prevent them from exiting or from not entering in the first place. So just to give you quick examples or quick basics that you always want to use for the welcome flow. The goal of the welcome flow is to get an order. So you want to get people to place an order with the discount you offer them. So of course, one thing you immediately want to set up is what someone has done or not done. Person has placed order 0 times since starting this flow. Right here you can see when someone places an order, they will no longer receive any email, any welcome email, any of that sort. Because of course, you don't want to send them the discount again when they already placed an order. Also, things you might want to consider doing is, or things I highly recommend you do, is to select what someone has done or not done. And then person has checkout started 0 times since starting this flow. What that means is it doesn't just have to be someone placing an order, but also it can be someone adding a product to their checkout and then just abandoning it. So in this case, they would of course receive an abandoned checkout email. And yes, of course, you can also do what someone has or not done, added to cart 0 times since starting this flow, and then you're sending them an abandoned cart flow, but that really depends on your brand and your best practices. I always like to leave it like that, checkout started, and not have a separate abandoned cart email for that. So now we're just gonna hit save, and then we're actually gonna add confirm and save, and then we're actually gonna add the emails. Email 1, email 2, and email 3. Let's just leave it at 3 emails. We can always add a 4th email later. So of course, you don't want to send all those emails on day 0 in a row, because of course you want to have a time delay. So between those 3 emails, of course, click a time delay. And for this brand specifically, we basically have the first time delay is 1 day, and then the second time delay is 2 days. So we are at, it says day 3, but technically it's day 4, doesn't really matter. This is email 1, email 2, and email 3. Of course, we can also add in the exact subject lines they use. I don't have them right here with me right now, but let's just say welcome to the list, and then some preview text right there, and then it says your 20% off weights. And then for the third email, you could say last chance to claim 20% off, like this. And that would basically be it for the subject lines. And then for the content, we of course also want to add the emails. So I don't have a template in the agency demo account right now, so we definitely want to just click select template and then click on create. Right, now we're in the actual builder, and I always like to basically delete most of the stuff so that I can then work with the blank canvas essentially. And now we want to add a few images. So it's really important that you have images both for mobile and for desktop. So what we want to do then is duplicate those images so that we have 3 for each version, and then just click on the image and go to display, and then select desktop only for 3 of those images, and then of course mobile only for the other 3 of those images. So right now you can see these are the desktop only images, and these are the mobile only images. The reason why we want to do that is because of course we want to have separate versions for both mobile and desktop, which basically means mobile optimization. Now we're going to go to Figma again, and we basically need to slice up the images so that we can then upload them to Klaviyo. And the way we do that is, let's just start with the first email. You basically hit S on your keyboard, or just click that icon down there. And with that tool, you can basically slice up your emails, your images. Just make sure it's really in the corner, because sometimes you kind of miss it. And then just click export. I always recommend exporting it as a JPEG, because when you export it as a PNG, you basically have some issues with white and black backgrounds because they sometimes turn transparent and it's all a mess. Trust me, just hit JPEG and then export it at 2x, and then export slice 81. Yes. And then you can basically hold Alt and just drag it down. Make sure it's still aligned right here. Export element by element. Now in this case, what we need to do is something different. We need to export these slices not in one whole thing, but much rather in separate categories, because of course when someone clicks on tees, they want to see tees, and when someone clicks on denim, they want to receive or much rather see denim. So we just need to make sure that we're exporting all of those slices separately. And then also, of course, when you have a call to action that is kind of two-folded, you want to direct it to different locations. So make sure that you are actually slicing it up in different images so people can click different links. And then for the last few links, you could say, it of course also makes really great sense to split it into different categories or different images. But for the sake of this video and for the sake of time, we're not going to slice and upload all of those right now. But it's pretty self-explanatory how this works. Now back in Klaviyo, I expected a few less slices, but we might need a bit more space here. So let's just start with the first slice. Basically, just click select image, upload image, select image again, and then select the right document or the right image file from your computer. All right, now we uploaded most of the slices so far, and now we have a kind of a little problem because, as you know, after this find your new favorites, we have this parted, this split category, and we can't just upload 2 images into 1 image file. So what we need to do next is to take a split block from the block builder and turn both sides into an image. Then we'll need to go to style and basically delete all the spacing and the padding because we don't want that around our images. And then it's pretty easy and pretty similar to the rest. Just click on the image, select the right image. Now we're going to duplicate this block again. And now we're going to duplicate it again because we have one more call to action that is split as an image. And now we have all of it uploaded. So now the thing is, if you hit preview, now on desktop it already looks pretty fine, but as you can see, we did not optimize anything for mobile. So now the process would be, if I were an email marketer at this brand, I would go to Figma again and basically optimize this email for mobile. For the sake of time and for the sake of this video, we're not going to optimize it for mobile, but basically, as you can see, the desktop email has 600 pixels width. And for the mobile email, we basically want to condense it down to 375 pixels. So we have less space to work with, and we need to basically not make everything smaller, but make everything fit into this less space. So we have less white space on the sides, and we have bigger elements, bigger call to actions so that people can actually read your emails on mobile. Because keep in mind, most of your audience will be on mobile, and it's really important that they can actually read your email without big effort. Now let's just assume we already optimized it for mobile and we uploaded all the mobile stuff. What we next want to do is add some alt text and the links. So let's just say for the alt text, it's really just for purpose of optimizing your deliverability. You're just going to type in, here's 20% off on us. And then for the link address, we need to copy their website link and paste it into the actual image. Now, one thing I just noticed is that right here, we also have this shop men, shop women category. So it's pretty simple. We're just going to copy that one and drag it up here. And now we're going to crop this image right here. Perfect. But now we're just going to copy the link of the website. And now, of course, we'll need to not only take the homepage link, but then we'll actually need to take the men link. So pages men, copy that in there. And of course, type in men. And then for women, it's pretty much the same. We'll just need to select women, paste in the address. And then, of course, type in women or shop women. Let's also do shop men. And now we're just going to continue that for the rest of the email. When you're done with that, you will basically have a clickable email that you can open where you can basically open the links, and depending on what you click, you will basically be directed to either the men, women, homepage, whatever that might be. And if you, of course, link all the images and all the products, you'll be able to go right there. And now we're, of course, going to need to copy that process of slicing up all the images, all the emails, and uploading them to the actual emails in the builder right here. But we're not going to do that for the sake of time. You've seen how it works. Just slice up the images, upload them to Klaviyo, and then add some links in the background, add some alt text, and you're basically pretty fine to go. And of course, you can send yourself a test email as well if you really want to make 100% sure. And then, of course, in our case, we need to add some alt text, some preview text right here. But other than that, we're pretty much good to go. We can just update the status and, of course, set it to live. And you can either decide to schedule that or update the status now. If there is nothing special in this case, I always like to just click update status now and then just click out of that window. And our welcome flow is uploaded. You don't need to reinvent successful strategies, just copy what great brands are already doing. Understand why it works and then apply those principles to your own brand. That's basically it. Alright guys, that's it for today. If you want more Klaviyo tutorials, check out my Klaviyo tutorials playlist down below.